If you have been scrolling through your phone lately and seeing headlines about major H-1B changes, new lottery rules, and deadlines you might miss, I want you to take a deep breath right now. I know how overwhelming this feels. I know the anxiety that comes when you are trying to build your future in this country, and suddenly everything seems uncertain. You are not alone in feeling this way, and I want you to know that you have come to the right place. This channel exists to give you the truth, to separate real facts from internet rumors, and to help you understand exactly what is happening without the panic and without the exaggeration. You deserve clear information, and that is exactly what I am going to give you today. Please subscribe to Immigration Path USA for the latest updates about immigration news and changes, so you can stay informed with accurate and reliable information. Now let us talk about what is really happening with the H-1B program and what you genuinely need to know before the upcoming registration period. There has been a lot of noise on social media, a lot of speculation, and honestly, a lot of confusion. So I am going to walk you through everything step by step in a way that makes sense. First, let me explain what has actually been published and what it means for you. The Department of Homeland Security has indeed published updated rules affecting the H-1B visa program. This is not a rumor. This is not speculation. These are official regulatory changes that have gone through the formal rulemaking process, including public comment periods, and have been published in the Federal Register. This is an important distinction because when something is published in the Federal Register as a final rule, it carries the weight of law. It is enforceable. It is real. However, I need you to understand something crucial. Not everything you read online accurately represents what these rules actually say. Some social media posts take a small piece of information and blow it out of proportion. Others mix up proposed rules with final rules, and some posts are simply repeating outdated information from previous years. So let me give you the accurate picture. The H-1B registration period for fiscal year 2026 is expected to open in early March 2025, with the registration period running from approximately March 7th through March 24th. These dates are set by USCIS, and they can make slight adjustments, so I always recommend checking the official USCIS website as we get closer to confirm the exact dates. But based on the announcements that have been made, you should be preparing for a March 7 start date. Now, who wins and who loses under the updated rules? Let me break this down honestly because this is where a lot of the confusion comes from. One of the most significant changes that has been implemented involves strengthening the beneficiary-centric lottery system. In the past, there were concerns that some individuals were being entered into the lottery multiple times through multiple employers, which reduced the chances for people who had only one employer sponsoring them. The updated rules have tightened the requirements to ensure that each unique individual has the same statistical chance of being selected, regardless of how many employers might want to sponsor them. This means the system now focuses on the beneficiary, the actual person, rather than allowing multiple registrations to increase someone's odds. So who wins from this change? If you are someone with a single employer who genuinely wants to hire you, your chances have improved compared to the old system. You are no longer competing against individuals who might have had 5 or 10 or even more registrations submitted on their behalf. The playing field has been leveled. Who might feel like they are losing from this change? Those who previously benefited from having multiple registrations submitted by multiple employers or staffing agencies will now have the same chance as everyone else. This is not really a loss in the sense of being treated unfairly. It is actually a correction to make the lottery more equitable for everyone. Another important aspect of the updated rules involves strengthening the requirements around the employer-employee relationship. USCIS has clarified and emphasized that there must be a genuine bona fide job offer and a legitimate employer-employee relationship. This targets situations where the H-1B program might have been misused, and it protects legitimate H-1B workers and employers who are doing everything correctly. If you are a skilled worker with a genuine job offer from a real company that truly needs your specialized skills, these changes are designed to protect the integrity of the program that benefits you. If you are an employer who has been following all the rules and genuinely needs foreign talent to fill specialized positions, These changes help ensure that the program continues to be available for legitimate purposes. Now, let me address some of the misinformation that has been circulating online. I have seen posts claiming that the H-1B lottery has been canceled entirely. This is absolutely false. The H-1B lottery system continues to operate. The fiscal year 2026 lottery will proceed. I have seen posts claiming that only certain nationalities will be eligible for H-1B visas going forward. This is not accurate. The H-1B program remains available to qualified individuals from all countries, subject to the same eligibility requirements that have always applied. I have seen posts claiming that you need a master's degree from a United States institution to qualify. While having an advanced degree from a U.S. institution does give you an additional chance in the advanced degree lottery cap, it is not a requirement for the regular H-1B cap. The educational requirements remain that you need at least a bachelor's degree or equivalent in a specialty related to the position. I have also seen claims that the registration fee has increased dramatically to thousands of dollars. Let me clarify this. Yes, there have been fee adjustments across USCIS programs, and you should check the current fee schedule on the USCIS website. But some of the numbers being shared online are exaggerated or confused with total filing costs that include attorney fees and other expenses. Always verify fees directly with USCIS. Now let us talk about what you must actually do before March 7 if you hope to participate in the fiscal year 2026 H-1B lottery. First, if you are a potential beneficiary, meaning you are the person who would be working on the H-1B visa, you need to have an employer who is willing to sponsor you. This is not something you do yourself. The employer or the employer's immigration attorney handles the registration process. You cannot self-sponsor for an H-1B visa in the traditional CAP subject process. If you have an employer who wants to sponsor you, make sure you have provided them with all the necessary information they need to complete the registration. This includes your passport information, your educational credentials, and any other documentation the employer's legal team requires. Do not wait until March 6 to get these documents together. Start now. Make sure your passport is valid, make sure you have electronic copies of your degrees and transcripts, and make sure your employer has what they need. Second, if you are an employer who wants to sponsor an H-1B worker, you need to make sure you have a USCIS online account set up and that your organization is registered in the system. You also need to work with your legal team to prepare the registration information for each beneficiary you want to register. Remember that under the current rules, each beneficiary should only be registered once per employer. Duplicate registrations will be identified and could cause problems. Third, for both employers and beneficiaries, I strongly recommend working with a qualified immigration attorney if you have any questions about eligibility, the registration process, or your specific situation. Immigration law is complex, and the stakes are too high to rely on random advice from the internet, including this video. What I am sharing with you today is general information designed to help you understand the landscape. It is not personal legal advice tailored to your specific circumstances. Let me also remind you about timeline expectations. Being selected in the lottery does not mean you immediately have an H-1B visa. Selection only means you have been given the opportunity to file a full H-1B petition. After selection, your employer has a specific window to file the complete petition with all supporting documentation. That petition then goes through USCIS adjudication, which can take several months. If approved, the H-1B status typically begins on October 1st of that fiscal year, which for fiscal year 2026 would be October 3rd, 2025. If you are currently in another status, such as F1 student status with OPT authorization, make sure you understand how the H-1B cap gap provisions work and what happens if you are selected versus not selected. This is another area where consulting with an immigration attorney is very valuable because the rules around maintaining status during the H-1B transition can be complicated. I also want to gently remind everyone that lottery selection is never guaranteed. The number of registrations typically far exceeds the number of available H-1B visa numbers. Not being selected is not a reflection of your worth or your skills. It is simply mathematics. Many extremely talented and deserving people are not selected each year because there are only so many visa numbers available. If you are not selected, Know that there may be other pathways to explore depending on your specific situation, and that you can try again in future years if you remain eligible. For those of you watching who are worried about broader changes to the immigration system, let me offer some perspective. Immigration laws and policies in the United States do not change overnight. Even when a new rule is published, it goes through formal processes. Major changes require either acts of Congress or formal regulatory procedures that include public notice and comment periods. What you see in political speeches, proposed legislation, or social media speculation is not the same as actual law. Stay informed, but do not panic every time you see a scary headline. Check whether what you are reading is about a proposal, a discussion, a bill that is not passed, or an actual final rule or law. The difference matters enormously. I also want to encourage all of you to think about your long-term immigration strategy, not just the immediate next step. If you are on an H-1B, consider whether there is a pathway to permanent residency for you. Having a green card provides stability and protection against many of the uncertainties that come with temporary visa status. If you become a permanent resident, consider eventually pursuing citizenship if you are eligible and if it aligns with your goals. Citizenship provides the most complete protection and the full rights of participation in American society. These are conversations to have with qualified immigration attorneys who can look at your individual situation and help you understand all your options. As I wrap up today's video, I want to leave you with a few key takeaways. Yes, there are updated rules affecting the H-1B program. Yes, the registration period is expected to open around March 7th. Yes, you should be preparing now if you hope to participate. But no, the world is not ending. No, the H-1B program has not been eliminated. And no, you should not make major life decisions based on social media panic posts. Stay calm. Stay informed. Use official government sources like USCIS.gov. Work with qualified immigration attorneys for your specific questions. And remember that you are not alone on this journey. If you found this video helpful, I would be so grateful if you would subscribe to Immigration Path USA and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an important update. Please give this video a like if it brought you some clarity today, and share it with any friends, family members, or colleagues who might be feeling confused or anxious about the H-1B lottery. They deserve accurate information too. I also love hearing from you in the comments. Let me know what questions you have, what topics you want me to cover next, and how your H-1B journey is going. This community is here to support each other with facts, with hope, and with understanding. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.